Welcome back, everybody. 3HP Games plays this game. Rogue Legacy 2 version 1 finally came out. Oh god. Oh god. Alright. I'm good.
Fuck me. Kasumi's a tight-looking slut.
What? What?
Hio-kun, breckies up, you slack cunt.
What? What?
After
What?
After me mom carked it a couple of years back, me old man got together with this Kasumi bitch. So now she's me stepmom. Only problem is, me old man up and died less than a year later, too.
Are you reading something?
Yeah, man. Yo, wait, don't fake act surprised. I told you I was
Okay,
gonna do.
alright. Yeah. I just didn't know if it started yet. You just kind of pulled that on me.
And I don't. The title is just me stepmom's too fucking hot, mate.
Okay.
I ain't got brothers or nothing, so now we're living together. You know what's wrong with that?
What?
Well, she's so fucking hot. Any cunt who's not, oh, I can't say that on here.
Wow.
Okay. Who's not a complete, would wanna fuck her.
Okay. Alright.
Okay. Alright.
Can I eject out of this conversation?
You mean ejaculate?
No! I get the
Oh,
fuck out.
okay. Alright. Yeah, we're done. What you doing right now?
Yeah, anyway. What the?
It wasn't, it's been a while since I read it. I wasn't ready for the language. That'd be, well, sorry, I was, but I wasn't ready for all of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, now I need to make it back. Oh, okay.
And it was just something where it was like, I
I'm
saw a
gonna die here.
meme, not a meme, I saw a picture. Okay. Wow.
Oh!
This is dumb.
Okay.
Yo.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we're gonna forget that happened.
I saw a picture of it, and then I had to find it because it was funny as shit. Where it was like, you know, he was giving her the business. Obviously, that's where it happened, where it ends up.
Right.
He was giving her the business that she's in there. Just says "wreck me, kid shitter," and, you know, implying vagina.
Okay.
Because it shits out kids.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a wreck me, kid shitter, and when I saw that, I just fucking, I died, man. I was
Yeah. Aussie slang. Oh shit.
In fact, I feel like you talking about it. You're bringing it up every video now, but yesterday I was watching a video on YouTube where there's a dude that does people submit stories to him of like their experiences in MMOs. So a lot of the stories involve WoW, and some guy was telling a story, or some guy had a story where he joined a guild. And when he joined the guild, there was some like mega hot sounding Spanish chick in there. And when he's British, but you know, in this case, she doesn't know any better. So when he joined, she's like, "Oh, are you Australian? I love Australian accents." And then he was just like, "Yes."
Amazing.
So for mad long, this dude was just like, everybody in the guild just thought he was Australian. And he went and started watching Australian TV shows so he can learn the vernacular, you know, learn the slang and all that kind of stuff. And he just started so that he could use the slang, you know, in sentences and whatnot, and sound more Australian while, you know, it's a British guy doing an Australian accent. Until one day they got someone else joined the guild who was actually Australian.
Amazing. As soon as he heard that, he was sweating. He was like, "Oh God,
pretty much.
the ruse is up."
Pretty much. And so, what happened? So, you know, the way it works in a lot of games and with WoW is the same. Is you pick a server that you play on, and you know, you just pick the server that's in your region. Nothing crazy there. So, for example, for us, you know, for me, I play in like North America East.
Oh my God!
Damn, this was not a very long life that was lived. You just like nuked yourself on fucking water.
No, the electric shock hit the wall and then split. I didn't know it split.
No. I mean, but you know, the reason why you were so low health is because you were just constantly hitting the water.
True. Yeah, I got trapped there. Definitely don't do that again. But now I have the archer and I can unlock that special thingy thing.
Hell yeah. So yeah, what happened was a guy joins, and you know, obviously people in the guild are like, "Oh, you're Australian, so is he." He's like, "Oh, great," and the guy's like, at least from the way the dude told the story, it pretty much seemed like the moment he spoke, the guy was just like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" Because he was like, "Wait, what the hell? This guy's Australian and he's not speaking any of the slang that I've been using." Because as it would turn out, people don't talk in real life like the way they do in TV shows.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
What are you speaking a fucking language? What are you doing, my guy?
So the guy is like, "Oh, hey, where are you from?" And he said, you know, some part of Australia. And the guy's like, "Oh, really? Why? That's crazy. Why are you on the EU servers and not like Oceania servers? Because
why are you on the EU servers?"
Yeah, like, oh, because you know, Australia is kind of, I think, somewhat notorious for not having the best internet.
Right.
So it's like, not only do you not have the best internet, you're playing on a server that's like, you know, thousands of miles away from you. So, you know, the guy gave some, I forgot the exact reasoning why he gave that. He was playing the EU server. And the guy was like, "Oh, how's your ping?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, I have like 200 milliseconds. And he's like, "Oh, that's not bad considering that, most people who do that have like at least 350.
Yeah.
And, so it ends with the guy, he asks, or then it ends with him asking like exactly where he's at. So the guy says, or the guy guesses like one part of Australia, I guess based on the way he's talking. And he's like, "Yeah, that's where I live." And then someone else is like, "Oh, I thought you lived in this other spot," because he had said they lived in another spot. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I just have my family that lives there." And the guy's like, "Oh, you live over there?"
Oh,
and the guy's like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "How's the weather?" He goes, "Oh, it's really high." He goes, "That's crazy because
it's winter.
They just got hit with a cyclone."
Oh my!
I can't believe you're on the game because, you know, you just got, my family lives over there and they just got hit with a cyclone, and half the places like underwater flooded.
And then he packed up his imaginary home and fucking never talked to anybody in the server again.
Pretty much. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's been a little spotty here," and then just disconnects and then doesn't talk with anyone like ever again or some shit until maybe a few days later he gets in touch with the guild leader or something who just calls him a fucking idiot. And I had to look it up to verify, just to make sure that these events did line up with each other.
Yeah.
Because the guy said it happened around like a specific expansion during WoW's, time. They're like very specific expansion's life cycle, and so I looked it up, like, that location in Australia followed by cyclone, and it did line up, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny as shit." Cause you never know if people are bullshitting, it's like.
Telling you they're from Australia.
So the guy ends the story with, if the girl, the Spanish chick, ever watches this to talk to him, that he still is in love with her. And the guy reading the thing goes, "No, don't do that. Write your story about how some guy faked an Australian accent for you. Also, why the fuck do you like Australian accents? They're weird."
Okay.
Bro, this shit's alright. Like, man. Like, I was watching them before I started playing WoW, and they were still hilarious. It's just one of those things where I don't think you have to play the game to fucking find it funny.
I wish I was more of an idiot so I could have cool stories.
Yeah, there was another one. Oh, this one's good. A little. No, fuck it. No, I don't care. We're gonna talk about COVID, but
okay.
But it's fucking hilarious. It's like this dude is in a guild, or he was playing in a WoW Classic came out, which you know is like just a
Yeah.
re-release of OG WoW. And he said he was like no-lifing it so hard. Like this dude was no-lifing it so hard, but he's an adult, like, you know, has a job, has a wife, no kids. They didn't say anything about kids, but then when it got so bad that one day he forgot to pick up his wife from work. And then apparently in order to rationalize why it happened, he showed her all the potions he made. Because he was too busy. He was so busy collecting herbs that he forgot to pick her up and, you know, use herbs to make potions.
No, look at all these potions that I made.
So,
I could sell them to the guilds.
Somehow that's not the funniest part of this. Because so he said afterwards he canceled his subscription because obviously he's getting bad at that.
Yeah.
COVID hits. So everybody's working from home, and as most people who are not teachers who work from home quickly found out, is that when you work from home, you have nothing to do. Because it turns out that, you know, when you're home, I mean, not for everybody, but depending on how your workflow is, it's like, oh, I guess I'm here, I'm comfortable, so I'm comfortable, there's really nobody stopping me right now. Right. I guess I'm just gonna do the thing, and, you know, like 4 hours pass, you go, my work is done, and I have 4 to 5 hours left in my shift. I guess I'm just gonna masturbate and play video games or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he re-upped his sub on WoW, or for WoW, and started playing again, and he rejoined his old guild, which is apparently like the, you know, one of the best guilds on the server, and so like he said he joined, and everybody was like, hell yeah, man, you're back, that's awesome, and it was all great. And so that except that he was annoyed to find out, because his class was a rogue, he was annoyed to find out that they also had just recruited 2 more rogues.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it's like obviously he just wants to be the only one there, but more importantly, it's a gear thing.
Yeah,
so
you need to mix and match.
Yeah, so the thing in WoW is, you know, when you do a raid, and a lot of MMOs, when you do a raid or any sort of group content, the loot is shared between the people. So if you're raiding as a guild, you just kind of decide who gets the gear, kind of thing. There's more to it than that, but that's the gist of it and what's relevant to this story. So, you know, he's buddy with everyone in the guild, and there are these other 2 new guys that are also rogues. And so they're about to go do a raid, and the gear that this guy had is now, because, you know, once again, the way the game works, the gear that was super hot shit 8 months ago is no longer hot shit.
Right.
So he needs to be geared up. So he's like, hell yeah, you know, this sucks, but at the same time, we're going to do a raid, and all the gear is going to go to me because everyone else is geared up. So they start the raid, and the guy puts in chat, like the raid leader puts up, oh, by the way, just so everybody knows that one of the new guys is getting all the loot. Like one of the new recruits is getting all the loot, and the guy, he said pretty much everybody is like, oh yeah, that's okay, understood, got it, and except for him, he was just like, why? and he said all that somebody put in the chat was like a fucking ellipses, you know, ...
Yeah.
You know, as in like, uh-oh, this is awkward. And he's like, what the fuck, I don't get it. And so the raid leader messages him on the side that the guy who's getting all the loot has COVID.
Okay.
So they were doing it as like a kindness thing to the dude. Oh, he has COVID, so we're getting him, you know, we're gonna give him the loot.
But he doesn't need the
loot. So, no, well, the guy does need the loot. Like, all these new rogues need the loot. Because they're all shit. They're all shit geared.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just that the guy thought that he was gonna get it because he was cool with everyone already.
Right.
And needed it. But then he finds out that he's not getting it because the other guy has COVID. And so the dude's reaction was like, oh, my bad. but like, what does COVID have to do with my gear?
Yeah.
And then, you know, to be fair, it's like, hold on, this happened when COVID was fresh, like, or like when I had just started. It's like people were definitely dying to it. However, you're at home, you're clearly well enough to play World of Warcraft. Like, it's not like they got you on a ventilator or anything. Like, you're playing a fucking video game at home
Right.
is probably not a life-threatening situation. But the guy's like, okay, whatever. You know, this is a one-off though, right? Like, we're not gonna do this every week. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Or the guy's like, yeah, just this one time. So next week comes around, and 3 more people in the guild apparently got COVID. So then all the loot goes to them, and the guy's like, oh, okay. And then another week happened, or another week came by, and I think it happened again, and then it was the 4th week, and apparently they have a sister guild. I guess another guild they're buddy with.
Yeah.
And 10 of the people in that guild apparently have COVID.
Oh my god. So he's gone like 6 weeks without
3 or 4 weeks without getting any loot. And he's like, and they say the attendance is voluntary, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, because they see it as like they're doing like a little charity thing, like they're just carrying people through the raid to give them loot, you know, for COVID. And the guy goes, I forgot, the story was something along the lines of like the guy goes, oh, they said the attendance is voluntary, but you know, if you don't come,
you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. so he's like, okay, you know, even though I really don't want to do this because I already know I'm not going to get any loot again, you know, I'm going to do it. But when he goes to do it, he doesn't get the raid invite because they said his gear wasn't good enough.
But wait, but is it the same raid? The same raid he's been doing for the past 4 weeks?
Same raid, yes.
What the fuck? What do you mean?
His damage isn't high enough because now, as opposed to having 3 people replaced, they have or like 10 people are replaced. So they need more DPS to compensate for it, and his DPS isn't high enough to fucking because his gear isn't good enough because he hasn't been getting any gear because everybody else who has COVID is getting gear, and so he said and you know the loot is class specific, right?
Yeah.
So he sees all the new guys who said they have COVID, or said they got COVID, who are now geared up, are going into the raid. And he said the thing that made him fucking snap was that he, after all that, one of the dudes goes, haha, there are no, like, all the new people that they were helping, none of them are rogues. So they can't even get, if there was rogue loot to drop, no one's there to take it, to get it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And so the guy says, he goes, I snapped and I put in the guild chat, I have COVID, smiley face. And he said the guild leader or the raid leader messaged him on the side. He goes, bro, that's not cool. And he goes, you don't understand. If I don't get gear, I'm gonna die.
What if he...
And it just instantly got kicked.
Oh my god.
No, the thing is that, like, so it's funny because in this dude, the channel is called Preach Gaming, by the way, because I've been just saying this whole dude's video and I haven't said what channel it is.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that they do a thing with a lot of these stories where they say whether or not a person's innocent or guilty of the crimes they committed. and it's funny because when this guy forgot to pick up his wife from work, everybody was already going like guilty, 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 guilty. But that wasn't the point of the story though. Yeah. The point of the story was the COVID thing. By the end of it, everyone was like not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Because it's like, you know, how ridiculous is it? It's like at first it seemed like a nice thing until you think about it and go, I get COVID spreading, but don't you find it kind of weird that like after one person says they have COVID, 3 people are like, hey, we have COVID, but all 3 of us can also magically raid. Yeah. And then after that happens, people from another guild, 10 of them are like, yo, we also all have COVID, but can still play the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a cool bougie.
And then you fucking, and then you don't, and then you like, you essentially, this dude waits, because, you know, back in apparently like, well, still in the current one, but especially with Classic WoW, there's a lot of preparation you had to do to raid, like a lot of buffs and all sorts of shit you had to do to get, so you're doing a lot of stuff outside of the raid to make you ready for it. So this guy just spent all his time doing this shit. And then you tell me you can't come in because you've been fucking him on gear the whole time because people are clear. Like, obviously not all those people have COVID.
Right.
So, so it's just that the way he addressed it, instead of calling it bullshit, go like, yo, what the hell's going on? He made fun of it in a way that was absolutely fucking hilarious. But But on the flip side, it's like I mean, listen, I probably act the same. Well, no, I probably wouldn't have stuck around for the third week, but
yeah.
but I probably would have acted the same way. Just considering, like, I don't know how, like, this situation is so ridiculous. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, either I take this seriously or I make fun of it because this is an absolute fucking joke.
Right.
That's what he did. So everyone was like, not guilty, not guilty. I'm like, that's funny. Everybody forgot about the fact that he just fucking ditched his wife to pick up fucking flowers.
Yeah. I would be semi peeved if that
absolutely, bro. Fucking.
I think, yeah, I need to recover from that story. We'll be back with another episode of Rogue Legacy. Hopefully, we'll make more progress.
And talk about the game.
Alright, bye-bye.
Bro, you gotta goodbye. Yo, you got them shits are they're so funny, man.